Hello, welcome to my first video on Move with Eve. So let's start sitting in the center of the mat, legs hip width distance apart, hands behind our knees. Tuck the tailbone in and roll back bone by bone until your arms are straight and your feet are still on the floor. And slowly roll back up, open the elbows to the side, stack upright. Exhale to roll back, make sure you can still balance yourself. And then slowly roll back up as if you want to roll over something in front of your tummy. As you stack up, think of growing taller. Roll back again and slowly curl back up. And then we'll have our arms lengthened to the front. Exhale, roll back until your palms are almost at the top of your knees. Slowly roll back up. And then stack up. As you can tell, this is more difficult, so think of your own range of movement. Try not to go so far for the first few times. Remember, Pilates is all about control, and it's not about how big of the range that you can do, but how good you are at controlling your range. Exhale to roll down. This time we try to roll down the lowest. Maybe you can go to the tip of your shoulder blades, and then exhale, roll back up. You have to really draw your abdominals in, engaging your core to come up while maintaining your feet on the floor. Exhale, roll up, sending your fingertips to the front without folding your shoulders forward or shrugging. Exhale to roll back. And slowly come up. Take an inhale, grow taller. And exhale, think of going down a bone at a time, and this time roll all the way down. Place your palms next to your hip. Walk your feet back towards your buttocks a little bit. And then inhale, prepare. Exhale, we are just going to curl the table in a bit as if your hip is rolling away from the floor. And then arching your back a little bit, so as if your hip is a clock that you want to go from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock, imprinting your spine to 12, arching towards 6. Then find your neutral position where your ASIS, the frontal part of your hip, is facing towards the ceiling. We are going to do bridging, so curl up your hip with an exhale. Inhale to hold. And exhale, soften the chest, slowly come back down a bone at a time. Keep your knees steady. Inhale, exhale, curl the tailbone in first and peel yourself off the mat to one bone at a time. Find a straight line at the top, rib cage, hip and knees in one straight line. Then slowly engage your core to come back. Make sure you find your stability while you come back down, that your hip is not swaying side to side. And this last one, we are lengthening our arms up and then slowly roll down bone by bone. Feel the stretch, lengthening the arms. And then interlace the fingers behind the head. And then lift your elbows up a little bit, come up to chest lift position, eye gazing towards the inner thigh. Exhale, go back down. Exhale, curl up, keep your hips steady. Inhale, no motion. Exhale, slowly go back. Exhale, curl up. Try not to fold your shoulders and don't let your elbows go too close towards each other. And come back down. And adding on rotation, exhale, curl up. Rotate towards your left side. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate towards your right side. So keep going. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, center. So try to think of your nose and your chest bone and your belly button is always in line as you rotate. So you're not lengthening the back muscle, but really engaging your obliques to curl up and rotate. As you finish the last one, lay back down. The next one, you can keep laying on the floor, or you can come up to chest lift to make it more difficult. Lift one leg up to tabletop, the other leg up to tabletop. Dip one leg down onto the floor and the other one. So try to maintain the angle behind the knee, and then you are lifting and dropping the thigh from the core. So think of pushing the thigh down instead of folding your shin bone towards your hamstring. Eye gazing towards the inner thigh. And we are going to keep one leg down, switch leg as we exhale. So keep switching. So inhale, exhale, switch. And then when you're balancing with both sides, bring both legs up back to tabletop, chest down and legs down. Reaching the legs forward, arms above the head. Inhale, exhale, head, neck, chest up, arms forward. And exhale, roll all the way up, reaching forward. And then stack up. And then adjust yourself if you have to. We are just going to sit with our legs met width apart, flex the ankles. I'm just going to turn for you to see. So palms facing each other, arms forward. Inhale, exhale, roll forward bone by bone as if you want to roll over a beach ball in front of your tummy. Reaching. Inhale to hinge for the stretch. Exhale, stack up from the tailbone, low back, middle back, upper back, neck and head. And then I'm just turning to the side again for you to see. Inhale, exhale, roll forward. You don't want to collapse your tummy, so make sure your core is engaged as you roll and your crown is reaching towards the front. And then roll back as if you're coming back leaning against the wall. Inhale, exhale, reaching forward and don't drop your arms. Make sure your arms are still almost by the ears and shoulders not shrugging. And slowly stack up. The two I did before, I did not hinge for the stretch. That is optional. So as you roll forward, reach the end, you can take an inhale to hinge for the stretch. Then exhale, slowly curl back up. Let's do one more. Exhale, roll, reaching forward to lengthen the spine. And exhale, slowly come up, stacking up a bone at a time. And then we are coming to a reversed quadruped, I would say. So place your palms behind the shoulders, maybe mat width apart, and then your feet wider than the hip, externally rotated, then lift up to a table position. Make sure you are not overlooking up towards the ceiling if you have neck issue. So like me, you want to play safe with your neck. You want to eye gaze forward, not have your head chin up to protect your neck. So exhale, we curl up like a bridge. Slowly, bone by bone, opening our hip flexors. Feel that there's a stretch on the shoulders. Exhale, come back like bridging. You want to come back from the chest bone first. Adding on, we are coming up on one hand to the side, reaching for the stretch. Sitting down, balancing on the other palm, and then reaching for the stretch. Sit back down to where you lift your bum, and then reach, eye gazing towards the other end of the mat. Coming back, balancing, and lift. Push your hip up to lengthen the front of your body. Exhale, reach. And you want to send your knees forward in this position. Exhale, we reach. Let's do a few more. So make sure your hip and your neck is facing towards the same line. Coming back, and then you might want to adjust your position, reaching forward, reach for your feet or anywhere you can touch to stretch your back. So coming on to the side, you want to bend your bottom knee, bend the elbows just below the shoulders, flex the top leg ankle, lift the leg up to horizontal, kick forward 2 times and then send the leg back. Kick, and send the leg back. You want to keep your top leg horizontal and then your hip is steady. Like me, you can place your palm onto your hip to make sure you're not swaying your hip. As you lengthen the leg to the back, you want to feel like you're pulling your thigh bone towards the back, away from your hip joint. Then point the feet here, circle backward 5 times. keep the hip steady, and then reverse 5 times, also keeping the hip steady. Then we'll come to side plank. For regression, you can bend your bottom knee like this to make it easier, or you can lengthen both legs, top leg in front, bottom leg at the back to challenge yourself. Make sure you choose the option that is not too much for your body today. After 5 of this, we are going to hold up. Hold your hip up, send your arm to the back, rotating the chest like threading needle. So you want to make sure your shoulder is still above the elbow, and then your chest is not dropping, your hip is not dropping. Using your obliques to rotate. So after 5 of that, come back down. And then we are going to switch to the other side for everything that we did. Bend the bottom knee, lengthen the top leg, elbows behind the shoulders, and then flex the ankle, kicking the leg forward, and then send it back. So try not to kick your leg too far forward until your back is sort of like being pushed to the back. You want to maintain a neutral spine and don't drop your waistline. And long neck here, think of a long neck. So after 5 of this, we'll make 5 circles to the back, moving from the hip joint, so you're moving the thigh bone. And then reverse for 5. After that, you can lengthen the leg, and then we are going to lift our hip up for side plank, bend the knees like me if you want to regress, and then to progress, lengthen the leg out and lift the hip up. So you want to think of lifting from the bottom hip, using the oblique still to push up. Last one, hold and rotate, open. You can have your eye gazing towards your fingertips, following the movement for the whole thing. Rotate and reach. One more. Rotate and come back. Sitting down. And we are coming to a prone position, lying on the tummy, palms next to your ribs. And then take an inhale, you want to come up to swan prep. So you want to make sure that you are moving a bone at a time. So sending your shoulder blades down towards your waistline, but you're pulling the belly button up so that you're not really compensating from the lower back. So come up bone by bone and lower back down. My back is a bit tight, as you can see. So feel free to come up to full swan prep as you feel like you're not compensating with the lower back. So you want to think of yourself as a scotch tape. You want to peel yourself off one bone at a time, and there should not be any tension on the lower back. Slowly come back down. As you come back down, engage your tricep, squeezing the elbow towards your rib cage as you go up and down. So don't flare up your elbows to the side. I want to think like I am coming out from a cave as I come up, and then slowly lengthening from the tummy as I come back down. Last one here. And then push back to rest position. Sit your tailbone towards your heels. So let's finish with a stretch. So come to a quadruped position by flexing your toes. Curl your tailbone in to come to a curl position, and then you want to sit your sitting bones towards your heels. So maintain your palms where they are. Inhale, exhale, come back to neutral like a wave. And then you want to curl again, exhale to sit back. Make sure your palm stays where they are and you have a little pushing sensation to push away from the mat to lengthen your spine. I personally feel a lot on the lower back with this one. Exhale, we curl. Think of lengthening the spine through the tailbone and the fingertips. And come back. Let's do one more. Exhale, curl. Slowly sit back. Inhale, no motion. Exhale, come back to neutral. I hope you enjoyed the section with me. Click the notification button, like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.